Whoa now, whoa now, whoa now. What's going on, family? This is your favorite info plug, RD Muhammad. And we're getting out. I know a lot of people are getting ready for this game that's about to come on, which couldn't have been a better situation for um, what I am about to talk about tonight. Now, this is so, it's going to be interesting because right now, ladies and gentlemen, uh, there are the Nielsen rating has rigged up that this is going to be into the millions. Let me get this phone turned off. They are looking for millions of people to be tuning in to this game. Now, back here in the background, what you guys are seeing, I suppose I had done my this was supposed to be my country album release party, but I was so excited and overwhelmed from the blues release party last week that I literally forgot Mondays is podcast night. So I don't expect a lot of people to tune into this, which makes this podcast so perfect because there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be watching this game and they won't, they don't play for the team, never went to college there. They never went to college there, don't have any stake in the game. Some might have lived in those cities. Some that might just be their favorite team. But they don't have a dog in the fight. They don't even have a relative that goes to school there. But they are going to be tuned in to watch a game that they have no vested interest in. Now, some of those are going to have a vested interest in because they might have put money down on the game. So, which is another key point that we're going to bring up tonight because um, tonight's topic of discussion is this right here. This is not my listening party. Please don't forget. I thought that Monday was going to be my listening party, but it was. I have to do my. I'm going to be doing the podcast tonight. So let's get right off into this. Tonight's podcast, ladies and gentlemen, is called If You Can't Make Your Bed in 30 Days. If you can't make your bed in 30 days, you are not ready to be a business owner. I want everybody to think about that for a minute. If you can't make your bed in 30 days, you can't be a business owner. And this is so funny because I was geared up and ready to do the listening party, plugged in with RD. And I left everything up getting ready for that. And then I missed that tonight was my podcast. So let's get right off into this, ladies and gentlemen, because this is going to be interesting. If you can't make your bed for 30 days straight, you are not ready for business ownership. That's what tonight's podcast is going to be about. This is why when I opened up, I was talking about there's going to be a lot of people who's going to be tuned into this football game, and they don't have a dog in the fight. Now, would you put your business on the back burner to watch a football game? Possibly lose money from betting on it? Now, think about this for a minute. People are going to take their hard-earned dollars. Some have already taken their hard-earned dollars. Gone to the bookie. Put money down on tonight's game to take a chance on winning money based off of the performance of somebody that you don't know. You're putting your hard-earned money into the hands of people that you do not No. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Let that marinate in your spirit for a minute. Let that marinate. You are basing your hard-earned dollars on what somebody else can do. Now, here's my question to all of those people who are doing that tonight. Why haven't you took a bet or a gamble on yourself to become self-sufficient, set yourself free financially from the burden and tyranny of a job, and to build a wealth foundation for your future children? Think about that. Why the average person won't take a bet and a gamble on themselves, but they will bet on a football game? Now, right behind tonight, we got the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship that's coming up. People are going to take their money again and take a gamble on somebody that they absolutely don't know, probably will never ever meet. The people that's on these football fields don't even know you exist, and you're going to take your money and try to flip it. But you won't take your money and invest into you starting a business. Now, somebody had posted one time on my on one of my videos that I posted, one of my social media content, and the statement was, everybody can't run a business, which I think is false. Everybody can have their own business if you set yourself up for success. Now, a lot of people won't do it, and I have coached a lot of people over the years. I've coached a lot of people over the years that wound up going back and getting a job after they've already had a business set up and established. Majority of them got money drunk, which is a term you guys will see used in my new book that's coming out this spring. Being money drunk is, see, here's the problem with success, and why a lot of people have short-term success. When you are not used to having tens of thousands of dollars run through your hands at your disposal, it causes you to get drunk and you start buying things that you can't afford. It always drove me crazy when I'm coaching clients and I tell them that the first thing that they should do is, one, I don't coach anybody who asks about getting a loan or who try to learn about that part of the business, how they can go and get loans. And then when you sit down and you talk about it, the amount of money that people want to get from a bank, borrow to start a business, you can save that money. You can save it. This is why a lot of times banks don't approve your loan. You're asking for too little of an amount. And they know that the amount that you're asking for, that's saving money. That's called financial discipline, which this is what we're leading to up into tonight's podcast. If you don't have the discipline, you're not going to be a successful business owner. I can look at anybody's financial statements and I can tell you where you're blowing money at. I can literally tell you where you're blowing money by simply looking at your financial statement. It's just that easy. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. I can look at your financial record and tell you where you're throwing the money away at. First time, if I count over 5 times a month that you've gone to McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, or any fast food restaurant, or you've gone out to eat, you're throwing money away right there. Stop it. If you've gone out to the movies 2-3 times a month, you're throwing money away right there. If you're getting gas 2 or 3 times a week, you're blowing money. Now, so well, what are you talking about, Muhammad? Man, I don't do all that. Okay, well, it's a reason why you don't have money. This is what we're getting to. You need to start going back through your bank statements and find out where you are blowing money, which is leading to now. This is what we're getting into. If you think that you're ready to be a business owner, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be for y'all long. If you think that you are ready to be a business owner and have a business, first thing you need to do, very first thing you need to do is start making your bed every morning. Start right there. Now, that's not going to apply to a lot of people. I know some people, they do make their bed every morning. That's great. That's good. But what making your bed is going to make you do is it's going to make you start to get up earlier so you can have time to make your bed and still be on time to get to work, take care of whatever other things you got to take care of. Start right there, making your bed. Another thing you need to do that you can try to do to see if you're ready to be a business owner, shower at night. No shower in the morning no more. If you are using your shower as a means for you to wake up, change that. Start going to bed earlier. We'll fix that. Now you want to, I never understood why people say, I'm not a morning person. Why aren't you? That's my first question. Why aren't you a morning person? You know the morning is coming. Regardless of not if you don't know if you're going to see it, but you do know that it is coming. So why aren't you a morning person? Which is something else to change your discipline. Make yourself look forward to the morning. Make yourself look forward to getting up. Because every morning that you get an opportunity to wake up, you got one more day to correct, fix, and produce on what you didn't do yesterday. Put that in your mindset. That's what I had to do. Now, I was always a morning person. I have no problem getting up in the morning. I've had no problem with even on minimum sleep, which is another thing that you're going to face as a business owner. Go to bed early, wake up early. And there's going to be sometimes, depending on what time of the season it is and what product or service you're moving, you're going to be going to bed late and still have to get up early. The comment box is open. You guys can always drop comments. Now, if you can hear me well, drop a 1 in the comments, please. If you can hear me very well, drop a 1 in the comments. Because the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, when you start to change small things in your life, if you can hear me, please drop a 1 in the comment. I want to make sure that everything up because we was geared and set up to do the listening party to the country album, which we will probably do that on Wednesday. Tuesdays and Thursdays is my training class. So Wednesday is the only other day that I have to do the country release listening party. But to be successful is discipline and consistency. So over the next 30 days, go to bed early, wake up early, make your bed. Some people are going to say, man, I already do that anyway. That ain't hard for me to do. I know I'm ready for business. Okay, stop right there. If you're already making your bed every morning, I mean every morning. The next thing you do, start sack lunching your lunch for work every day for the next 30 days. Man, what they got to do within a day? A lot of things. Saving money. Stack lunching, taking a lunch to work is saving you money from spending money at a fast food restaurant for 30 minutes. And it's also maximizing your time because now you don't have to physically go get in your car, drive somewhere in a hurry to go get something to eat, and rush back, wolf it down, and then get back on the line. How much do you think that affects your body by trying to wolf down food in 30 minutes? If you're getting a 30-minute lunch. Some of y'all might be in corporate America, y'all might be getting an hour. But you're sitting there putting a heavy meal on your stomach and you got to go back to work. So sack lunch it. Takes you 3 minutes in the microwave. Most of y'all go to microwave it. But instead of cutting your eating time down to 10 to 15 minutes, now you get 20 to 25 minutes, depending on how many other people are in line for a microwave. But the time that you save from doing all of that running around, getting stuck in the drive-through line, that's cutting your time down. See, now what this is showing you how to maximize your time and minimize your spending. You're maximizing your time and minimizing your spending. Please, if you can hear me, please drop a 1 in the comments. I want to put this up on my phone to see if the volume is okay, because I'm on my microphone. But now, well, man, I'll sack lunch it. All right, we're going to sack lunch it for the next 30 days. Not just 1 week, the next 30 days. Now, this is what I want you to do. All of that money that you would have spent on going to lunch, I want you to put that into an envelope. Don't put it in the bank yet, because you're going to start seeing your money increase in the bank. I want you to put that in an envelope and don't touch it. Because at the end of that 30 days, you're going to see just how much money you were blowing on lunch for work. Now that's real simple to do, real easy to do. Just pick what you would have normally bought. So if it was a combo at Burger King, you're looking at, let's just make it easy and do even numbers. $10. $10 a day times 5 days. That's on an average work week. That's $50 a week on one meal. Now you're going to multiply that by 4 weeks. Come on, y'all can't see the money that you're throwing away? You can't see the money that you're throwing away on one meal. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? I'm just checking to make sure that the podcast is you can hear this. So now you can see where you're throwing money away at. All right, perfect. Now you're seeing where you were throwing money away at. And this is going to tell you, am I ready for a business owner? And I've been throwing away $200 a month for however long you've been on your job. And now you still think you need a loan? Now multiply that $200 times 12. Well, actually, it's going to be, that's $50 a week times 4, that's $200. Now you're going to multiply that $200 a week, a month, times 12. Ooh. Am I right, I say? Had to summon the powers of Minister Geno Jennings. Talk back to me. I mean, if I'm wrong, somebody tell me where I'm wrong at. Now, somebody's going to think they were smart like me, because when my advisor was telling me about my over expenditures, I told him I was eating rallies. Boy, I was tearing my system up with rallies. It was a cheap meal. But you get that big, beautiful combo, I just needed enough food in my stomach to make it through work. Well, you can go over there and get that you can pick that pick 3 for $4.50. Man, I was tearing them up. $4.50? I'm spending $5 a day. And I thought that I was smart in trying to pull one over on my advisor, the man who coached me. But even still, $5 a day is $25 a week. That's $125 a month. Imagine how much groceries you can buy with $125 a month. I can tell anybody because I live that life. I know. This is why everything that I coach people on, I have literally gone through it myself. You guys have read my book. For those of you who true followers and subscribers to RD Muhammad and the Plugged In family, y'all know my story. The highs and the lows. So I have people who can bear witness to what I speak. I don't pull anything out the side of my neck and tell somebody to do that I haven't already done myself. This is how I know. My weakness when I was on the job was McDonald's coffee. Oh man, that coffee was frothy. And this was back when they first came out with that premium roast. It was $1 for a large cup. I was tearing them up, man. 2 cups a morning. $10 a week on coffee. $10 a week on coffee. My advisor looked at me. He said, hey, don't you know you can go to Walmart? That's 2 cups. I'm drinking 2 cups for $10 a week. He said, don't you know you can go to Walmart and get a 140 canister container, 140 cup, the big one. Now they $13. But even worse, because McDonald's coffee for a large cup now is $2.99. Y'all see? $2.99. Now, I would have thought I was smart and only bought 1 cup for the same $2. But when you multiply that by 4 weeks, I'm spending $40 a month on coffee. $4 a month on coffee. When I could have bought the 140 canister cup, even at today's price, I'm spending $40 a month at today's price of $13.48 at Walmart. This is the great value coffee, Colombian, $13. Now deduct that $13 from the 40. That's how much money I was saving by simply making my own coffee at home and bringing it to work. And now, instead of me drinking 2 cups of coffee, which is 60 days, now I can drink 140 cups of coffee. Now, remember I told you I would reduce that to buy just 1 cup at $2 because the price increased, so I would have increased 1 cup. So instead of drinking 20 cups of coffee in a month, now I can go back to drinking my 2 cups. Now, simple mathematics. Divide 20 days by divide 20 days by $13.48. 2 will go to 13. I'm spending about $60.60 on a cup of coffee. When it never dawned on me that I was throwing money away, it was to satisfy my pleasure. I wasn't ready to become a business owner before then because I didn't understand how I was throwing away money. Because I didn't grow up under that mentality. I developed that mentality. If I want it, I make the money for it. I go to work for it. I'm going to buy what I want. But I never had the life I wanted. I was on the hamster wheel like a lot of you. So guess what? Same thing I'm telling you guys. And sometimes, especially on after Friday when I done got paid, Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to throw me a biscuit in with that coffee that I'm buying. I was not ready to be a business owner. So what I'm telling you is, if you can't let that go, if you can't stop that for 30 straight days, just 30 days, if you can't stop that for 30 days, you are not ready to be a business owner. Because as a business owner, you don't have extra money to throw away. The first 2 years, And this is even according to the SBA, the Small Business Administration. They have done scientific studies on this. This is why the average new business fails in the first year. They don't break old habits. They don't break old habits. Even it's biblical, ladies and gentlemen. You can't put old wineskin. You can't put old wine. No, I took that back. I'm getting my scriptures wrong. You can't put new wine in an old wineskin. Why is that? The new wine will become sour and rancid. So when you're trying to be a business owner, you can't bring old habits into the new life you are trying to live. You got to separate. I mean, cut off. You got to. Because your first year, I'm going to say your first 2 years, all the money that you make is going to have to be reinvested into your business. Every penny. Because with a new business, you don't know when your up seasons are and when your down seasons are. So you have to prepare for when it's going to be slow or nothing at all. Number 3, all right, somebody's going to say, well, man, I can do that. I can sack lunch it. Now, here's the thing. If you're already doing that, then let's go to the next phase. Go to the next step. Start going to bed early. Stop or staying up till 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Watching TV. Watching television, ladies and gentlemen, watching that television is keeping you from living the life that you want. Believe it or not. Why do y'all think it's called a program? It's called a TV program. The television is programming you and it's dumbing you down mentally. Because for that 1 hour that show has been on TV, you haven't worked on your dreams and your goals. Some of you, like me, got off work at 4 o'clock, showered, sat down, watching TV from 5 till 10. 5 hours of watching the television. And it was telling me some lies visually. For 5 hours, I did not work on my business. From 2001, when I brought the business into existence, because I've had a business since 95 on paper, but it didn't come into existence until 2001. So for 6 years, I didn't do anything. And from 2001 up until I met my advisor, I was only making flea market money. Because in my mind, which is a new term that you guys are reading in the new book, I was only doing dope boy economics. Dope boy economics is simply this. I was just wanted to double my money. Here's the thinking. At the time, I was working on a job making good money, doing about $73,000 a year as an industrial mechanic. I'm making good money for Alabama. Good money. And my thing was, if I can just match what I'm making on the job, that was my mentality. My first goal was to match what I make on the job. My job is already paying my bills, but I'm looking at living off of the business money. Y'all see the problem on that? The job is paying my bills. The business is giving me a livelihood. What was suffering? The business, because I was not reinvesting back into the business. I'm borrowing the money, which I learned up in the recent past 5 years what I was doing wrong. I was being taxed at a higher tax bracket because I had married my business income to my job income. They don't teach you that in school. I did not know. There is so much information that you have to learn in that first 2 years of business that most people don't even tell you about. Like there's one key term called separation of entity. I never separated my business from me. My name was on everything. Soon as I making the money from the business, I was depositing that money. I was taking that as a pay. Y'all see where it was throwing me in a higher tax bracket? I'm taking my business money instead of letting it stay in its own entity. That should have been completely separate from my personal money. I was putting it into my personal bank account, taking all the money out, taking the money out. That put me in a higher tax bracket, and I was killing myself at a higher tax price and didn't even know it. So when we start telling you guys about these things, this is what you got to do in order to prepare yourself to be a business owner, which leading to number 5. If you're making your bed, you're getting up early, you're going to sack lunch it, and you're scheduling your time to go to bed early and wake up early and start changing some things around your life, and you're reinvesting your money in here. Now, what's next, Robert? Now you got to start reading. You got to increase your knowledge about business. The average new business owner is still operating under an employee mindset. Ooh. New business owners still operate under an employee mental station. You know you can do the work. The work is not the problem. It's the business side. Knowing how to work that paperwork. Knowing how to keep up with that paperwork. Knowing how to transfer your liabilities that got your name on it over to assets that's being owned by the business. See, they don't teach you that. The average person that's on these social media platforms, they don't teach you about getting your liabilities out of your name and transfer that to the business. Why? Because the majority of us grew up with the mentality of saying, man, you need to buy something and put your name on it. That's the worst thing that you can do in this business world is put your name on anything. Why is that, Muhammad? Man, if you guys have been following me, y'all already know this. And when you put your name on something, that means you're responsible for it. Let's take your car, for instance. Your car has your name on it. And I want y'all to look at this because you're throwing money away. You put gas in that car. You put tires on that car when it needed. You get the oil change on that car when it needed. You even wash it when it needed. Some of y'all wash our car twice a week. You put tint on the windows. You do all of these upgrades and different things. That car is under your name. How many of you have ever wrote any of that off on your taxes? Some of y'all be putting rims on your car. I'll wait. Have you ever got any money from all the gas that you put in your car every year? Have you ever seen one dime of that money come back? That's what we call throwing money away. Because in my world, where I live at now, I can write all of that off as tax deductions and write-offs. Even your car insurance. If you have been doing that, somebody put a 1 in the comment. drop a 1. If you have been doing it, drop a 1 in the comment. If you haven't been doing it, drop a 2. All of those car payments you have been making on your car, that money is just like this. You just blew it in the wind. You might as well take your paycheck and flush it down the toilet. Because that's what you have been doing. So now, what you got to do is, here's the discipline again. All of your miles, you got to start writing those down every day. All of that down. If you're not going to write the mileage down, you need to start keeping and saving all of your gas receipts. Because in this world, you can't do both. You got to do one or the other. Either you got to claim the gas or claim the mileage. I personally coach all of my clients, claim the mileage. Claim the mileage. Why? Because the mileage pays more money. Last year, they paid 74 cents a mile. No, 72 cents a mile. That's going up this year to 75 cents, I believe. You can check with your local tax professional. Not tax preparer, tax professional. And this is something else. You can't learn this game from a tax preparer. Because if they knew how to do it, one, they would be taking advantage of all of these tax write-offs and deductions themselves. And that's why they can't tell you, because they don't know and they're not doing it. See, it's very easy to be a tax preparer. All you're doing is transferring information from this line on your W-4 to this line on your I-9 or on your income tax. So nobody can't tell you something that they don't know. This is tax season. Ask these questions to your tax preparer. And if they know the information, that should make you instantly mad because they never told you. So what is the reason why they never told you? Ask them these 2 things when you go in and have your taxes prepared. Ask these 2 things. Ask them, 1, what is the Augusta rule? If you own a home, even if you're renting a home, renting an apartment, ask them, what is the Augusta rule? Now, this is what I want y'all to do for homework. In your spare time, Google that. So you will know what it is when you go in and ask them that. Now, if they can't tell you what the Augusta rule is, it's a whole lot of information that they aren't telling you because they don't know. In short, the Augusta rule is where you can rent out a room or a few rooms or even rent out the entire house. The Augusta rule is basically Airbnb generation 1. This was the first thing of Airbnb. The Augusta rule is what led to Airbnb. It started from Augusta, Georgia. This is where it gets the name from, the Augusta rule. It was only limited in the state of Georgia until it was adopted by the entire country. During the Masters tournament in Augusta, Georgia, where they get the little green jackets, the one that Tiger Woods won, people, they didn't even have hotels or motels back then when it first started. And people were renting out rooms in their homes for the Masters tournament. And they were able to take advantage of that deduction and that write-off to earn money for that one little, I don't know how long the Masters tournament lasts, but they were able to make money for that time that the tournament was going on. Isn't that the same thing Airbnb does? You can rent your room or rent a house out to people for the time that they're in town. So if your tax preparer don't know about the Augusta rule, they definitely not going to know about this second one, a cost segregation study. A cost segregation study, in short, and I want y'all to Google that. It's going to tell you. You can even ask ChatGPT to break down the Augusta Rule and cost segregation study in layman's terms. So you can read it in plain English, what it does, how is it beneficial, and how can you capitalize on it. The cost segregation study is they're going to depreciate your home over the next 10 years and cut you a check. And you got people out here refinancing their houses. Well, it's a way for you to get. See, now you understand why a lot of people are starting to get money drunk. Now imagine you own a home and you still paying on it. Let's just say you got 20 years left to pay on it if you haven't refinanced. Over the next 10 years, they're going to take that total lump sum of depreciation and depreciate that house over the next 10 years at the current value that it is. Simple math. Multiply that over 10 times 10. They're going to cut that check. Whoop. Now, what most people do, this is where they make a mistake at. They take that money and go bald till they fall. Instead of taking that money and paying it to the principal to knock their payments in half. You got 20 years left. They're going to take you and depreciate over 10. So you just knocked out 10 years of payments with one check. Most people never heard that term called segregation study. Huh? Now, every time, now here's something else. Most of you didn't even know. Now, this is all discipline. This is where discipline comes because all of our lives, including my life, buy you a house, put your name on something that can't nobody take away from it. Got a question. Hey, all right, Michael Davis, you haven't been doing it, and that's not your fault. You just didn't know. You didn't know. So the thing comes, how can you ask a question of something that you didn't know exists? You can't until you start reading. There are a lot of things. Mr. Farrakhan says the best place to hide knowledge is in a book. Why is that? The average person they don't want to read. Now, what makes you not want to read is one, that's something that you have no interest in because you never heard about it before. Do y'all understand that the only time that we would ever even go investigate something is when we're trying to prove somebody else wrong? We only want to read something or even look something up when we want to prove somebody wrong because we never heard it before. Not to gain knowledge, not to learn something. We got to prove that person that said that is a liar. And we try to embarrass people on what they said because we never heard of it. Now, yes, a lot of stuff that you hear from social media influencers is it sounds like fantastic foolishness. It was never intended for you to learn it. This is how the wealthy stay wealthy. This is how the rich stay rich. And this is why the poor stay poor. And the middle class stay struggling under the pay bill. Do y'all ever know how that works out there? A poor person is only concerned with getting their weekly paycheck. That's all they're concerned with. Where my money? I need my money. I want my money. They get fired from a job. The first thing they say is, when can I get my check? Golly. Y'all done heard these people. Y'all done been on the job and heard these folks. Y'all better have my money. I'm coming up here to get my check now. We'll mail your check. Y'all better, I want to put my check in my hand. But they be ready to fight. That's all poor people are concerned with. Middle class people are only concerned with paying their bills on time. They only concerned with having good credit. That's the only concern, is good credit. Wealthy people, rich folks, first thing they learn, you will learn that money is a tool that is made to work. You cannot save yourself to $1 million. Put a 1 in the comments if you agree with that. And that should be everybody, because you ain't saved $1 million yet. You ain't saved $1 million yet. You ain't even saved $100,000. Money is made to work. That's what the rich understand. Your money has to work at all times, because when you have money that's working, your money starts to ebb and flow. It does this all day, every day. It brings money in, and you reinvest and send more money out to bring more money back in. This is why it's called currency. Your money has to flow like the current of water. Ooh, that thing touched my spirit right there. Every time I say it, it gives me goosebumps. It gives me goosebumps every time I say it. Your money has to ebb and flow. Ebb is when it comes in, and the flow is when it goes back out. Just like water, when it comes up on the beach, that's ebb and flow. It's just like this. If your money not doing that, you still concerned with trying to save. Then you start to learn this from being around rich people. Watch this. Debt, D-E-B-T, debt has two sides. There is a thing called good debt, and there is a thing called bad debt. Now, somebody should have a question. How can debt be a good thing? Let me tell you, this is the part that they don't teach you. They don't teach us this, but it's in books. I wish that all this information was mine, ladies and gentlemen. I wish that it was. I wish that this information was all mine. But this is in a book that I have read. And when I started putting into practice, into practice, it's life changing. Bad debt is a liability. That's something that you have bought, that you are spending money on every month, and it's not making you any money. That is bad debt. You just got money going out. It's not coming in. But the way that the rich and the wealthy operate, they operate under good debt. Now, what is good debt? Because that sounds like an oxymoron. Good debt is things that you spend your money on that makes you money. That is good debt, which requires you, again, we're going right back to the beginning of the topic. It requires discipline. This is 2026. 2024. Let me tell you, this is what bad debt looks like. 2024. It is on public record. Black America was the highest purchasing people in the world for a Mercedes-Benz. Black America bought more Mercedes than any other people in the world. That should break your heart. We bought more Mercedes Benz than the United Arab Emirates, the people that are on the oil fields in Arabia. Black America bought more Mercedes Benz. How do we know that to be true? Man, you don't know that. Yes, it is. Yes, we do know that. We know that through the Freedom of Information Act, one. Two, we know because every time that you purchase something, you got to check the box what your race is. That's how we know. That's how the government knows who is getting money and who's not. This is when the government start making laws to slow your money down. Because when Black America start buying more Mercedes than any other people in the world, the government says, oh, they making too much. You wonder why they ain't gonna give y'all no raise? You putting up at your job in the Benz and you making less money than the owners of the plant. You making less money than your supervisor and the general manager of the plant. And here you go pulling up in the parking lot. I mean, parking on Front Street. Damn near taking up 2 parking spaces because you don't want nobody to ding your new Mercedes Benz that you bought with your income tax. With that bad credit. Paying $700 a month. This is how we know. But here's the caveat. Here's the sad part about that. Black America only bought the 200 and the 300 series Mercedes Benz, which is absolute trash. Why is that? Yeah, it's a Mercedes Benz. Rich people and wealthy people call that the working man Benz. That's what they give their sons and daughters for their 16th birthday. The 200 and 300 series. Those are little working man Benz. See, even wealthy people look at that little thing. Nothing. Now, how does that let you know if you are ready to be a business owner? Because if you take the money that you have made, or even the tax money that you have gotten returned, which we're going to get to that too, understanding that a return is a bad thing. Anything that is returned, you have paid too much. Michael Davis, I'll get with you in a week or so. Had a medical setback, but I'm okay and trying to get back on track. Not a problem, Mike. We always here, brother. We always here. So when you don't have the discipline to hang on to the money that has been returned to you and invest that into something that's going now see that's bad debt when you just buying a Mercedes Benz and then you making all the payments doing the oil change, making you got to pay insurance on it. You don't get no money back from the insurance. You got to put a tag on it. If you don't get no money back from the tag, huh? All the gas, all the maintenance, you don't get no money back from that. That is bad debt. You guys have heard me. I'm going to pull up and show y'all the car that I bought years ago, and you will understand and see. When I bought that car, I intended on. I hope I didn't shut this off. Let me minimize it and see if I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. All right. Well, I can't do it without losing everybody. So here's the thing. When I bought that Mint, it was a 2015, and I bought that car with the intention on me never driving it. I bought that car with the intention on making money off of it. And I've given this game several times over the past year since I bought it. I have literally driven that car 3 times up until the time that I sold it. It lost its luster after a while because the older as time kept getting going on, the appeal to it was going down. So nobody was renting it as much. But I literally paid that car off in 2.5 years. 2.5 years, I paid that car off with other people's money. Now, that's not boasting and bragging because that is a system that I created in order for me to make money off of that car. I only made two, I was going to tell you a story. 2 payments off of it. After that second payment, not after the second payment, but after I had to start paying out of my pocket 2 times to keep it up, it was over with. I couldn't make no more money off of it. It started sitting. I was paying more for the garage space to keep it in than I was making off of it. So it didn't make any sense to keep it. See what I'm saying? But how did I make money off of it? Put it on Turo. Some of y'all who are watching are familiar about Turo. Turo. It's an app where you can rent luxury cars off of. So if you're going to spend money on a vehicle, spend the money on it and put it on Turo. And people rent it. They pay the car notes on it. They pay the insurance on it. They pay the tag on it. And then Turo is designed and set up where you can insure that thing up to $1 million. I didn't care if they wreck it. I was wanting somebody to steal it, wreck it, do something with it after it starts slowing down. Because now I'm not making any money off of it. So now, this is the only time that rich people and wealthy people get rid of stuff, when they stop making money on it. When the good debt turned back into a bad debt, after I paid it off, it wasn't a bad debt anymore. It was all plus, but it wasn't renting enough because the appeal and the attraction was wearing off. Y'all get where I'm going? Now, and you just recycle the game. You just recycle the play. Consistency. Remember I said consistency is one key thing that lets you know if you are ready to be a business owner. So you run that play back. Get a newer car. Sell it. Upgrade it. I just told a new client of mine that I just set him up with business this past weekend. I said, brother, if you got an old car sitting in your driveway, ain't nobody doing nothing with it. It's paid for. Why don't you rent that car out to somebody who does Uber Eats and Grubhub? Now, it's not a newer car to where they can transport people, but they can do Instacart, Uber Eats, and Grubhub. And then you rent the car out to them. They got to get their own insurance. And y'all forgive me because I'm stopped up. It's cold down here in Florida. North Florida had snow. So it's stretched down here to the bottom. And it's been cold. So y'all forgive me if I'm clogged up. But I want you to get this information. So what happens is you rent that car out to somebody who don't have a car at all. You can rent that thing out for $75 a week. It's already paid for you. But it's collecting dust and dirt, and it's a bad debt because it's just sitting there. It's a liability. You're not making no money off of it. So why not rent it to somebody for $75 a week? They got to keep it up. You keep the tag and the insurance. You keep the tag and the registration on it. They got to put the insurance on it because they are the one driving it. So if they wreck it, you get paid for it. It's just like if you rent a car. Now, they paying you $75 a week. Guess what they got to do? They got to keep that car running. They got to keep getting food. Because $75 of their paycheck, you can't be a sometime Uber Eats person. You can't be a sometime Lyft person. You can't be a sometime Instacart person. I don't care where you drive the car at, as long as you bring me my $75. Hell, they ain't got to go and do Uber Eats and Instacart. They might need a car just to get a regular job, but $75 of that is mine every week. That's $300 a month that you make it on a car that's already been paid for. It's just sitting in your yard collecting dirt. Well, man, what if they don't pay? That's when you put a low jack on that thing. You throw you an air tag up in the dashboard where they got to tear the dashboard up to get the air tag out of it. You can put an air tag anywhere. Literally, you can put an air tag anywhere. And then here's the great part about an air tag. You can't even drive that thing in the underground garage. That air tag's still going to be going off. Because if that building got Wi-Fi, it's going to sync to that Wi-Fi. It's going to always tell you where that car is. You can always go get it. I don't care if they don't pay me at all. Go to the club if you want to and you ain't pay me my money. You're going to have to catch a cab home or catch an Uber yourself. There's always ways, ladies and gentlemen. Now, getting back to the discipline part. If you've done all that, let's go to the next step. Make you a grocery list. Some of y'all just went grocery shopping this past week. Make you a grocery list. And you got to stick to this. See, now this is setting you up for preparing on how to do inventory in your business. Open your cabinets up and find out what you are out of or running low on. That's business inventory 101. Make you out a grocery list. Now here's the discipline. If it is not on that list, you don't need to buy it. That removes impulse purchases. If it's not on that list, don't buy it. That same client I was telling you about that I just got him set up last week. My grocery bill is less than $100 a month. Man, stop there, man. You can't. No, I'm telling you the truth. I ain't got to read the lie to you. I don't even know who y'all are. I ain't reading the lie to you. And I haven't even given anybody an invitation to take my training course. But I can, if y'all follow my social media page, I talk about how I save my money on groceries. I have a Kratzky's hydroponic garden in my backyard. I got a cup. Matter of fact, y'all hang tight right quick. See, I live this thing. I'm coming. Y'all hold tight. Y'all hold tight. I'm coming. I'm in my studio, which also dubs as my shop for my leather business. Look, this is how I save money. When I tell you I grow my own vegetables, all I buy is meat. And up until November, I made an honest commitment on dropping meat from my diet and started growing mushrooms. This is my second batch of beans. Now, you guys might not can't see that, but these are navy beans. Now, you can go and buy, now this is, let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, right here, 4, and then let's go on down here. That's 5 right there. Let's turn this on around. 6 right there. No, I think that one is, hold up, we got to find the other bulb. There it is, 6 right there. That's the other bean head. It looks just like these. 6 bean plants is in this one cup. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 5th grade science. 5th grade science. You don't have to have a green thumb in order to do this. Now, this is my navy beans. I did the same thing last week with black eyed peas, kidney beans. Now, I use kidney beans for my chili when I make chili, black eyed peas, And this is my navy bean that I also use in my chili, that I also make bean soup out of. And this one here, I just planted these today. That's why you don't see anything. This is my pepper plant, bell peppers. So when they start growing, boom, put them out there in the Kratzky's hydroponic set, which speeds up the time on growing. Now, living here in Florida, where it's majority hot up until this year, something weird going on. But it's been cold the past couple of weeks. And I live in South Florida, so this is weird for me. But where it generally takes 8 to 12 weeks to grow, when you have a hydroponic set, it only takes 4 to 6 weeks to grow. Now, hydroponics, you guys look that up. Kratzky's hydroponic set. You can buy everything that you need on Amazon for less than $20. As far as the plant food that the plants drink. Now hydroponic, Kratzky's hydroponic set is no soil. That's all it is. It's just no soil. But the plants are constantly drinking the plant food, which is, as you're putting the roots in there, you guys will find this out when you study it. Again, remember I told you, reading is where we as a people have been behind the game. Most people I've been telling, man, hey, look, plant your garden. First thing that I did a raised garden. If you guys have been following me, y'all saw why I built the garden, the garden coffins, built them out of pallets, showed people how to make them, put them in there, and they all died because why? I got topsoil, and in that topsoil, it was already a mixture of 50,000 different kind of grasses in there. I had a grass that was growing in my garden that was called wolf grass. Never even heard of wolf grass. I knew about Bermuda, Kentucky, fescue, and all this kind of stuff. I ain't never heard of wolfgrass. But that wolfgrass was all in that topsoil that I had bought loose. And it was choking out my other plants. And then we had these dadgum grasshoppers that was, man, them things was 8 inches long. But they was having a field day in my garden. Tore the garden coffers down, started reading up on the Kratzky's hydroponic set. Now here's the thing. You can go to Walmart and get the. You don't even have to go to Walmart. Go to Lowe's. Go to Lowe's and buy you a 4, 6, or 8-inch PVC pipe. Go to Harbor Freight and get you a heat gun. First thing, take you a saw and cut you some slits and or slices into that PVC pipe all the way around it and stagger them. Take that heat gun, heat that PVC pipe up, and then take you a bottle, like for a soda bottle, and shove it down into that slit that you just heated up. And it's going to put a lip on one side, it's going to cave in the other side. And then you put you go to Dollar Tree and buy you some pool noodles. And you cut that pool noodle into chunks about this big, about 2 inches. And you stick those down into those slots. When your plant started growing like this, your starter plant started growing like this, you pour this out, wash the dirt off, and then you put the plant in that pool noodle. And then you fill up that base with, because you got to put it into like a container or something. You can get a 5-gallon bucket, cut you a hole the same size as your pipe. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You got a homemade filtration system that's feeding your plants all day, every day on a slow drip. The hydroponic parts come in is because the plants are the roots. When those roots start running for that water, that plant food, it's constantly drinking it. That's what speeds up the process of your plant's growth because they're constantly getting fed all day, every day. Now, why did I do that? To save money from my grocery bill. See, you have all the money that you need to start a business. You're just spending your money in places that's not profiting you and putting you in a position to start a business. See, this requires discipline. Discipline. Fifth grade science. Look, instead of you can get let's look at it this way. A 16-ounce can of kidney beans that is in some preservatives that's not good for your health. What's the point of having all this money if you're going to still die early from bad health? Now, a 16-ounce can of kidney beans is going to cost you anywhere from $2.38 to $4 and some change, depending on if you buy name brand or great value. Great value is going to run you about $2 and some change. You know how much a bag of kidney beans? You know how much a bag of kidney beans will cost you? A bag of kidney beans will cost you every bit of $1.28. Now, what you do is you take 6 of those beans out of that 1 pound bag. You guys have seen the bag of dry beans in the store. You take 6 of those beans, just 6, put them in a cup with some dirt. And this is what happens. Now, you put a bean on every side, 4 beans around the sides, and then 2 beans in the middle. Boom. Ooh, see, that's the hole that came off. And what happens, ladies and gentlemen? Nature. Nature kicks in. You don't even have to tell the beans what to do. God put everything that we need to sustain life in the food. But instead of us regrowing it, we eat the whole damn thing. And then the waste go in the toilet. I have 2 containers, which are totes. If you can go in the totes, now if you're going to use the bucket, because I got 4 5-gallon buckets out there that have my potatoes and my sweet potatoes in. A 5-gallon bucket, 1 potato, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I had time to go in there and get my potatoes and show y'all. Y'all come back and follow me. If y'all follow me on social media, I'm going to have a picture up with when you can go and buy a bag of potatoes. All you need is 1 or 2, however many you want to grow. When they start spudding eyes, black folk call them eyes, when you start getting eyes on the potato, you take you a knife and you cut off a chunk with that eye on it. That's a new potato. That eye is a new potato. It's looking for root, looking for soil to put root in. Now, potatoes, sweet potatoes, you got to grow them in the dirt. You can't grow them on the Kratzky's hydroponic set. So this is why you get a 5-gallon bucket and you bury those eyes in that soil. In a 5-gallon bucket, the space confinement, you're going to get anywhere from 10 to 15 potatoes off of 1. Every eye that grows on a potato is a new potato. So all you need is 1 potato in that bucket. It's going to grow you 10 to 15 more. So now I don't have to buy potatoes in the grocery store. Now I don't have to buy black-eyed peas, pinto beans, or navy beans, or kidney beans at the grocery store. And I got beans. Start with what you eat right now. So when you go and take an inventory on that, don't go buy no more cans of preservatives that's killing you. Food is not supposed to stay on no shelf for. And if you know anything about, well, again, when you start reading and you're learning about tin cans and aluminum and plastic, white sugar, white flour. Did y'all know? Here it is again. Discipline. And some of y'all who follow me, you already seen my videos where I did an affiliate marketing deal with a bread making company. They sent me the bread machine. All I had to do was do a video on making bread. I had already started making my own bread before I even got with the company, but I was doing it the old-fashioned way. I got with the bread company, worked up a deal so anybody who watches that video and click that link, I receive a check from that, which making money is easy. You guys have already heard me say that. I can stop doing all this right now and I'll still make money. That ain't most of the bragging. That's just because I set myself up. Money has to ebb and flow. Remember? You can't save your way to being financially free. It's not going to happen. Inflation goes up every year. Cost of living goes up every year. And if you're sitting there saving, whatever, if you saved $100,000 last year, you're not going to have $100,000 this year. And you ain't got no more money coming in to replace it. Your money is not ebbing, but it's constantly going out. This is where the discipline comes in at. I started making my own bread. Shot that video. Boom, 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 boom. People start buying the bread makers. Now, why is that important? I started making my own bread because the bread that is sold in the United States of America is banned in every progressive country outside of America. America can't ship their bread to nobody. The World Health Organization says that the bread that we eat here in America cannot even be classified as bread. One reason, the same foaming agent in the bread that makes it spongy, they put that in yoga mats. A yoga mat. What you exercise and work out on. You are eating a yoga mat. When you start reading things, by reputable organizations, not some Yahoo off of TikTok. You can't get any more reputable than the World Health Organization. I got to clean my monitor. You can't get more reputable than that. Oh, man, that made me. I said, I was light skinned a few minutes ago. Y'all ain't worth that, man. Y'all didn't tell me I ain't got no color. You can't get more reputable than the World Health Organization. So if you're going out there buying bread, I don't care what kind of bread you get. Your bread has the same foaming agent, FOAMING, foaming, that makes it spongy. It's the same thing in a yoga mat. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. Y'all look up the World Health Organization and then go down there and look at U.S. bread. Banned. We can't ship bread to nobody. But what happens is, as people started to progress and make money, they sold us convenience. They sold us death under the disguise of convenience. Oh man, it's convenient for y'all. Y'all ain't got to make no bread. Anybody got time to be kneading bread? Anybody got time to be doing all that stuff? All you got to do is just come here and buy a loaf of bread. It's $1.12. But they selling you death. Bread made up in 3 hours. And the greatest part about that machine is I can put a timer on it. I have fresh bread every day. Only thing I keep bags for is to put my bread in. I even went so far as to buy me a bread slicer. So my bread is the same thickness. Because, man, Yeah, you try to cut fresh bread, man. You have one that look like this, and then you have one that look like, well, it's fall apart. I can sit there. I mean, when I did the video, man, I literally ate half the loaf in the video. Literally, make half the loaf. And the first time I did it, I just put butter on it. Wow, I was killing it too. Second time I did, I said, man, I'm gonna make my own honey butter. I started buying organic honey. Organic honey is better for your health wise, especially if it's local honey. Buy local honey. I know it's expensive. It's $20 for a pint. It's expensive. But instead of using white sugar, use raw honey in your coffee. I don't put it in tea because I make tea by the gallon. But when I make my tea, I use raw honey. The brown cane sugar is closer to its natural essence before they bleach it and make it white. White sugar is not good for you, just like white flour is not good for you. White meal is not good for you. Look at the ingredients on the back of it. Don't take my word for it. Go back and read it for yourself. This is what I'm telling you. So when if you haven't been reading as a business owner, anybody that's in business is going to tell you you got to increase your knowledge. Some wealthy people say you need to read anywhere from 10 to 15 books a month. If you're not reading 10 to 15 books a month, now you ain't got to go out here and read no Harlequin romance. I mean, you ain't got to read no dictionary. But see, this is what I mean. These books aren't that thick. I am constantly reading up on things. Look, everything you need to know about a living trust. This is going to be a new class that's coming out of my training. But I am reading up on it first. Even though I already established a trust based off of what somebody was giving me the information, but I never went back and read up on it. This book is still in the plastic. I haven't cracked it open yet because this is the one that I've been reading. As a man thinking, I encourage anybody to get these books. My Amazon account, boy, they love me on Amazon. When I tell y'all, I tell y'all what I live. I don't tell you what I heard somebody else say. I mean, yeah, somebody else told me about it, but then in order for me to give it to you, I got to know what the hell I'm talking about. It don't matter if you listen to me or not. Depending on whoever you're going to listen to, especially when it's coming from a social media platform or a podcast. If they can't show you proof of what they do, man, I wish I had time to show y'all. I got a little library in now. 10 to 15 of these size books a month, that's not hard. These are what we call short reads. You can read these in an hour or two. I don't have a solid hour per day to read. So I read 2 books. I say I can read 4 books in a week. I'm going to be modest and say 3 books a week. As long as I hit between 10 and 15, 4 books a week times 4, that's 16 books. So I'm already on 15 books. If I read 3 books a week, that's 12 books a month. I'm still good. 10 to 15. But it's information that I apply to my business and to my program, my system, to give it to y'all. Now, what is the system? This is what you're creating with all of these things, from the making up your bed, the sack lunching, to growing your own food, reducing your bill, your grocery bill. Man, imagine, look at your last grocery bill receipt. And imagine, just go in and take a Sharpie and remove all of the vegetables off. If you bought vegetables, remove the vegetables and the bread off that list and just add up the meat total. Wouldn't you like that bill better than the one that you spent? And then if you're operating on a grocery list, this is a part of a system. Part of a system. Most business owners keep their cell phone under their personal name. Your cell phone don't pay you no money. But when you start a business, now your cell phone pays you. What's the write-off? Your computer, your laptop. You sell your laptop and your phone, or you sell your laptop, your phone, your computer, your printer. You sell that to the business. Now, guess what? That's an asset because now you have just generated something that's going to make you money. This mic lapel was bought under the business. How is it making me money? Because I use it every time that I do content videos. I use it every time that I'm on this podcast. So what I spent on the lapel mic is a tax write-off for a business expense. This requires you to have discipline because as a business owner, you can't spend your personal money. As a business owner, it's going to force you to rewire your brain. Everything that you have been taught has been misleading. I'm not going to say it's a lie because nobody ever lied to us. They just didn't tell us. Now, some people are going to look at that and say, well, a lie by omission. But hell, you didn't know it was a lie by omission because you didn't know that you were being lied to. You didn't even know what to ask. Most of y'all don't even know that you can write your utilities off. Most of you don't even know that you can write your rent or your mortgage off. Mm. You want to buy luxury items? Everybody want nice things. I'm going to give you an example. There are a lot of men out there that have been spending a lot of money on the Jordan brand shoes. They have every pair of Jordans, which are already recycled shoes. How can I turn my Jordan shoes that's in my closet into a business to where I can write off every last pair of those Jordan shoes? $240 value per pair. How can I write them off? I started a business. And I started talking about those Jordans. I do a video content creation on social media talking about these Jordans. I give the history of when they came out, the year in the season that he wore them, the basketball game that he wore them on, how many points he scored in that game when he first advertised these shoes. Every single pair, all the way back into 1988 when he came out with the red and white ones or the red and black ones. I have even, well, I don't do it because I don't own Jordans. I don't put nobody's name above my own brand name. This is why every time you guys see me, I rock my own brand. Nobody's name is more important than mine. I'm not going to be on here advertising somebody else's podcast when I'm doing my podcast. What sense does that make? That kills your credibility. I'm not going to wear Jordan shoes when I make shoes. See what I'm saying? I'm not going to wear anybody else's shoes when I can wear my own. These are custom made Louis Vuittons. These come out in March. And you think that I'm going to wear some Jordans when I'm promoting my own shoe company? Discipline. But the average person, this is what stops them from being business owners because they'll put more emphasis into somebody else's name because they think that their name not worth it. But if you're going to do that, you need to start shooting content, turn those Jordans or turn whatever shoe collection you have. If you even got Yeezys or Kohans or Giuseppe's, you need to learn the history and everything about those shoes and you start shooting content creation. Now you are proving to the government and IRS that you are buying these shoes to promote. Now, the bigger your followers and subscribers are, because some of these people that got these shoes, I mean, you already seen them, man. They be, boy, that shoe game is serious. They know the numbers. I don't know what the Jordan Retro 10s are. I don't know all that stuff. I just be hearing other people talk about it. But it's fascinating to me that they know a whole lot about the shoe, but expand that. Start talking about when the shoe debuted. What game did he first wear them in? How many points he scored in that game? Did they win a title when he was wearing the shoes in that game? Whatever the case may be. Give the complete breakdown and history on everything. Now that is discipline because now it's going to require you to do the research. But in that research, and you're talking in your videos and you showing these Jordan shoes, now what that has done for you as a business owner, you can write those shoes off. See, that's the part that didn't tell you. Y'all just out here buying shoes and spending your money and you ain't getting no boomerang on your money. Your money is not ebbing. But now, as you're making money off of the content creation, people watching your videos, they're liking, they're following, they're subscribing, they comment, asking questions. See, now you're going to have somebody come back and forth because they think they know more than you do. This is why you have to become, my coach told me, you got to become a KPI. A KPI is a key person of influence. You got to know that you know that you know. So when somebody think they know more than you, don't get in the argument back and forth. But now you can produce the facts. Now you gain credibility that you know you become the most knowledgeable person about these Jordans. Now, as your followers increase, your videos start taking off. Now you have traction to present to the Jordan brand. Hey, look at my social media platform. I have been hyping and blowing up these Jordans. I am the most knowledgeable person about these Jordans. I just want to come and have a sit down and look at the facility to see how I can become an affiliate. Now, guess what happens? As Jordan Brand has already done with several other influencers, they start sending them free Jordans. Now you don't have to spend no more money because you already have the numbers to prove that you are just as knowledgeable and reputable. And now through you, they're going to send you a QR code with every shoe they send you. So when you promote and talk about these shoes, you paste that QR code on your video, and everybody who scanned that QR code and go buy a pair of those shoes, based off of your expertise as a key person of influence, now you get a check from Jordan. Oh, so how not is that you're making money and getting free stuff? Nobody lied to you. You just didn't know what to ask. Now, I got to get off of here because I've already went over my time. Man, I'm an hour and 40 minutes over time. But if you guys, even if you're watching this on the replay, and you like what we have, the information so far, and you want to know more, system, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing other than save yourself time and money. Time, energy, and money. And if you like the system that I have given to you already, and you want to know more and learn more, and you want to learn how to set yourself free in 2026, all you guys have to do is comment, say, teach me, and I will send you a link. We will do a consult, 15-minute consult, because I need to know how I can better serve you to get you in a position that you want to be in. And if we are a good fit, I will work with you. Now, if you're trying to figure out how to get a loan, don't even contact me. I don't teach people how to get loans. If you don't have at least 75 employees and a 10,000 square foot building or warehouse that you're trying to put a business in, you don't need a loan. You need financial discipline and a financial strategy. That's what you need. But you don't need no loan if you don't have at least 75 employees that your business needs. And in today's time, you don't even need employees because everybody now is doing deals overseas in China. You can't get cheaper labor than that. So if you're trying to now, trust me, I know there's some people out there that die hard made in America. But if you're so adamant about things made in America, you need to take your TV and throw it outside in the trash. Take your cell phone, throw it outside in the trash. Your microwave, throw it outside in the trash. Because all of those, your laptop, your computer, your printer, all the way down to your iPhone. They say it's Apple, but guess where it's made at? So you need to throw away everything electronic out of your house. I'm only made in America. Man, shut up. Right now, you need to snatch your brakes off your car, take your transmission out of your car, because all of those parts that's in there is made from. Listen, that's why reading is fundamental. Not only is it fun, but it is necessary. Very necessary. So, but if you want to know more, and you want to know how my system works, I think I have one of the best systems that's out there because I live my system. It's not just something that I bought and it's somebody else's system. I have gone through all of the minefields and stepped on every land bomb that it is. And it's my job to guide you through the minefield. So you should be able to get there faster in your business than it took me to get mine. But all you have to do is drop a comment and say, teach me. And I will send you out an email at a time to set up your 15-minute consult. And we will see if we are a good fit for each other. Now, and that's pretty much it. But being transparent, my course is not free. No, it's not free. So if you don't come at me with no, man, we need to be community. I don't know you. See, free means you have nothing to lose. So you're going to half-ass do it. And if you don't do everything that I say to do, I've already been through that. So I'm not even going to bring that up. My course ain't free. That's just plain simple. But I will get you, I can't tell you how to be a millionaire, but I can tell you how to put 5 zeros in your bank. I sure can tell you how to do that. I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.